Just yesterday, Activision hosted the Call of Duty Black Ops 4 reveal event, and in light of recent leaks surrounding this game, well, I can hardly say that anything that was revealed was surprising or inspiring. Let's start with the core multiplayer component. There's really no other way of putting it. It's basically Call of Duty's take on Overwatch or Team Fortress 2. It's now a hero shooter or class-based shooter where each character, or specialist as they're known here, has certain unique abilities that make distinct contributions to a competitive team. On the one hand, it is different from what one might have anticipated from a Call of Duty multiplayer experience, and I'm not going to say that it doesn't have the potential to be fun, but on the other hand, I don't really think this is what Call of Duty fans wanted. One gander at the YouTube video of the multiplayer reveal trailer will show that the reactions so far have been fairly mixed. From there, things got pretty confusing when Treyarch unveiled a trailer of Black Ops 4 Zombie Mode featuring gladiators, which made many people wonder if they were watching a trailer for Assassin's Creed Origins. This wasn't particularly well received, but they also revealed a Titanic-themed Zombie Mode map, as well as Blood of the Dead, which brings back the old crew and a fan-favorite map from Black Ops 2, one thing that a lot of Black Ops fans were happy about. After that came the big, not-so-shocking reveal. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will feature a Battle Royale mode called Blackout. I will say that the scale at which they're doing this does seem interesting, assuming the teaser trailer is an accurate representation, implementing a lot of verticality and allowing players to partake in land, sea, and air combat. Not to mention that this is Battle Royale being made on a AAA level, so it's certainly bound to attract a lot of attention, especially with the Call of Duty name attached to it. Though only time will tell if it will be able to distinguish itself enough from the competition to stand on its own, as Fortnite and PUBG currently still own the space of Battle Royale. However, the question still remains, is Battle Royale really the direction that Call of Duty fans wanted the series to head towards? It'd be one thing if the foundation of what makes Call of Duty was still there, and these new modes were added on top of that. But what we're seeing here instead is the core foundation being stripped and replaced entirely, and that's what got so many people upset, especially with the official confirmation that Black Ops 4 won't in fact have a single-player campaign, which is a huge bummer. Even Treyarch didn't seem confident in making this announcement, as it was something that was fleetingly mentioned towards the very end of the live event rather than addressed directly.
Black Ops 4 doesn't have a traditional campaign. We're weaving narrative into each of the modes. And we've added unique ways to play solo in multiplayer and zombies regardless of your skill level. So, if you're a veteran, get ready to test your skills.
That was literally the only time in the entire 50 minutes long presentation that this was explicitly addressed. It was almost like oh, by the way, no single player campaign, okay, thanks for coming, bye. They even tried to spin this in a positive light, attributing it as an innovative, great feature that marks a step forward for the series by advertising how instead of implementing a full-fledged campaign, they would be weaving narrative into each of the multiplayer modes. But come on, there is no denying that the absence of a single player campaign is a step backwards in every way, as players will be missing out on the more tightly constructed narrative with the iconic set pieces that Call of Duty fans might have come to expect. Can you really look at Black Ops 4 at this point and say that this is even a Call of Duty game? I'm not saying Black Ops 4 is going to be a bad game, but can you look at what it offers and say it's recognizable beyond its coat of paint? Again, one thing is to take the core foundation that defines a game series and add layers on top of that, but it's another to strip it of its identity for the sake of pursuing popular trends. And let's not kid ourselves here, that is exactly what Treyarch and Activision are doing here, getting a piece of the most financially lucrative pies. The tagline for Black Ops 4 was "Forget what you know," but nothing they've introduced is really anything new or revolutionary now, is it? Its three main features, the class-based multiplayer, the zombie mode, and battle royale, these are all things that have been done before to mind-numbing extent. These are all things we know very well, so I don't know what the hell they mean by forget what you know. It all harkens back to a game like Metal Gear Survive, which may bear the Metal Gear name and look like Metal Gear, but certainly doesn't have the soul of one. It's Metal Gear in coat of paint and in the assets that it flips, but everything else about it is the furthest thing from what makes Metal Gear with its generic attempt to capitalize on the popularity of zombie shooters, because that's what requires least effort for the most revenue potential. Similarly, it's hardly surprising that for many Call of Duty fans, Black Ops 4 seems practically unrecognizable for all the wrong reasons. It may look like Call of Duty, it may mechanically resemble Call of Duty, but look beyond its exterior shell and it's just not the franchise we once knew. And look, don't get me wrong, I'm all for a game series trying to evolve and trying something new. God knows Call of Duty has become quite stale over the years, so if there's one franchise that could use a refresh, it is this one. But the problem is that Black Ops 4 doesn't really innovate in any way, as Treyarch and Activision would have you believe. It's not like, say, God of War that still retains the core foundations of what makes God of War while trying something fresh and distinct with the formula. Black Ops 4 doesn't take the Call of Duty identity and push it forward to new heights. It simply adapts existing popular trends because that's what will make money, even if it comes at the expense of the franchise's established core identity. Almost every decision made for Black Ops 4 feels less like it's in the service of the series and its fans, and more like it's in the service of the corporation's wallets. I don't even want to begin to imagine the amount of microtransactions and loot boxes that they'll shove in there to rake in as much cash as humanly possible from the popular gaming trends they're exploiting. The fact that Treyarch and Activision have the audacity to stand up on stage and attribute the regression of core Call of Duty elements like a single-player campaign and traditional multiplayer components, and the adaptation of cash grab features as innovation is telling of everything they stand for. There is less Call of Duty, less game, less substance, less effort here than ever before, and somehow we're supposed to believe that this is all a step forward for the series. Even the unimpressive graphics are telling of the kind of mindset that went into developing this game. It hardly looks like an upgrade from Black Ops 3. What more is there to say? This all speaks for the direction that the AAA segment of the gaming industry is headed. Less effort, more schemes, and loads of cash. Anyway, with that, I would like to end this news update. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy my content, consider supporting me on Patreon. It is completely optional, but donating even as little as $1 a month will go a long way in helping this channel grow. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.